Okay, so if you go to the district website, ycsd.org, and then under departments, information technology, and then technology integration. And then right here, it says webinars. So if you click on that, you can see the schedule and all of the previous recordings. So it will be over here. Right here is actually the agenda, right here. And up here at the top is linked to the slideshow that we're going to be showing you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and close a few tabs just so that my computer doesn't freak out. All right, so here we go. Chrome extensions. Sorry. Here are some of my favorites. The first one, I know hopefully Brian can speak to. Insert learning, I know that we've talked about it before. So basically, if you go to any sort of website that has text, so here I'm going to go to National Geographic Kids. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Insert Learning. And you see how it popped up over on the side here. So I have options here. I can set up my classes in the actual website. I can highlight text, insert a sticky note with notes, insert questions, insert a discussion prompt, and then there are more options that you could print the lesson, etc., etc. It is freemium. I think there's extra options with a paid subscription, but basically I could, oops, if I knew how to highlight. You get the point though. I could highlight and then add a sticky note. Where'd it go? There it is. And then enter a prompt or a point to look at. I could say down here, I could insert a question. Oh, I have to click on the whole paragraph. And you see that there's question stems that you can choose from. Identify the main idea of the text. So, or you can write your own. And then you create that question and it leaves them an area in the site to type their answer. Insert a discussion prompt. And then you could create a discussion and then students could comment on it. And you can assign it. Are there any questions about that? It's just a great little extension that you can add to your arsenal, I guess I would say. The next one that I have is Save to Google Drive. My slide will advance. I believe that Heather has used it before. So it looks like this. And the cool thing about this, if you right click on it, you can look at your options. So basically, you can decide where you want your pictures. I know that we've used it for downloaded videos, anything from the internet, where you want it to be sent to. So you could create a folder just for whatever, downloaded videos, etc., etc. You could decide what you want: a picture of the whole website, a picture of the visible website, the HTML source, the web archive, or you can change things into a Google document if you feel like that's appropriate. You can convert the save link into a Google editor format. So once you have that all set up, sorry, there's like a bit of a lag here. I'll try to shut this, see if that'll help. I'm in this, that's why. Hello. Say that I want this, I could go ahead and click here. Oh, no, it's not going to let me do this one. I want this picture. No, it won't allow me because it's National Geographic. So let's go to images, and then I'm going to go to tools. I'm going to usage rights, make sure it's labeled for reuse so that I'm not copyright infringing. Choose a picture. If I right click on it, you see how it says save to Google Drive. I can either save the link to it or I can save the image itself. So if I choose to do that, you can see that it is loading it. And I can rename this giraffe so it's easier for me to find. Or I could go ahead and trash it if I wanted to. I could change and put it in a different folder. Basically, it's just saving you the step from having to download things onto your computer and then upload them into Drive. It just automatically shifts it right into it for you. And there, again, there's a little video explaining what it does. The next one is Save to Keep. I know that Tiffany had talked about it in a previous webinar. Google Keep is like my favorite thing in life because it's basically similar to Evernote. I know that Andrea prefers Evernote, but this thing is really cool because basically anything, this giraffe article, I can go ahead and click Save to Keep. And you see how it pops up here? It'll save that link for me. And then I could put for science, I can label it as to what grade I think that it would be good for, or whatever it is that I have. And then it's automatically, if I go into my Keep, it'll be at the bottom because I didn't pin it, but it will be there. Sorry, it's like super slow. Trust me, it's in there.
The one thing that I do like about Google Keep is if you go to your Google Doc, your extensions doc, and you hit that little arrow on the side, it takes you to your Keep. And you can just add it right from there.
And you can see that you can share those notes with other people. So it's pretty awesome. If you, like I have it on my phone, I have a shopping list. I share it to my, my husband. You can set up a little location, a little reminder thing that it reminds you at a certain time to go do something, or it reminds you when you arrive at a certain place. So, you know, since we go from building to building, I might have it pop up when I arrive at a certain building and say, hey, go check on so-and-so or go do X, Y, Z. Do we have a question about that? I'm trying to go. The next one is my favorite thing. I know that this isn't like a super hard thing, but sometimes opening a new tab and then opening the Google Waffle to look for an app is just like a little bit of a pain. So I have this right here, Google Docs Quick Create. You just click on it and you can see that you can choose to open a new document, a new spreadsheet, a new presentation, a new drawing, or a new form right from there, which I think is super nice because drawings are a little bit harder to get to. You either have, I mean, you have to go through Drive or you have to Google to open it, but I can automatically just click it and it will open a brand new, whichever type of file that I want. Okay, the next one, I totally love also. Obviously, I love all of these, but it's called Tab Resize. So you can see it looks like this. It's split screen layouts that you can choose. So basically, wherever I'm at, It's between this one and the tab to the right. If I click here, I can choose what I want it to look like. Do I want it to be side by side so that they're equal? And
Okay,
then I can
we
go
have
back and forth.
a couple questions. Shannon asked, what was that extension called again? What was the last one that you did? Was that Keep?
Google Docs Quick Create.
Is that the one you're on now? Or that was the last one? I'm sorry.
Tab resize right here.
You're on tab resize right now. The one before
Uh-huh.
Google Docs Quick Create. And there's another question says, is that already on the Google page or do we create it? And Shannon's create. So
okay, if you download the extension, so if you go to either the agenda or the slideshow, and you find the link and you click on it, Google Docs Quick Create, or right here, tab resize, it'll take you exactly to the Chrome Web Store, and you can just add the extension and it will pop up there and you'll be able to use it for anything that you want to do. So you see that it goes back to the 2x2, and then if I want to, I can click it again and see how it says undo. It will put them back together. If I want to, I can set it up like 4 slides. You can have it left align, right align. You can actually create your own number of however you want it to look. So I just think it's pretty cool. I know that I think Andrea or maybe Tiffany have something similar, but this is just the one that I like. Undo close tabs. Again, I know that there's like a control shift something that you can bring back your last tab. This looks like a little black arrow. If I click that, it's gonna give me, I think I have it set for the last 10 things that I closed, because sometimes I close stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? And then I'm able to go back and get right back into wherever it was that I closed out of. So if you're forgetful like me, or you forget what you're doing in the middle of what you're doing, and you need something like that, that might be helpful. Sorry, there's like a lag as I try to go to the next slide. I can get to, actually I probably should have just left that open. Anything to QR code. So basically any site that you go to, if I go to Kahoot, play Kahoot. Once I have the extension that looks like this, I just click on it and it automatically makes a QR code. So I can go ahead and I could save it, or I could take a screenshot and have that picture and just throw it into Google Classroom or wherever it is that I would want to put that. And I get to the next one, which I know that I've talked about before, at least once. It's called Talk and Comment. And it's where you can leave audio comments. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. And once I turn it on, it's gonna be a pain, but I'm gonna refresh. And it should pop up over here. See, it's right here. So basically anywhere that you're at, you can go ahead and click on it and record your voice. And then when you stop, for right now, when there's a huge lag, when you stop the recording, it will come up with a web link, a URL that you can copy and paste into anything and leave purple directions. And I swear to you that it does work, but right now it's lagging. So that's fun. There we go. So that's the sound that it makes when it's recording you, but then it's not showing me that it's doing that right now. Again, I don't know if it's because I also have the Zoom on or whatever. Go to the next slide. I think I've just Okay, went way too far. Sorry about that. Okay, so the next one is a similar one. It's actually a new program, a new extension called Mote. If I can get to it. It's very similar, but I believe it works in Google Docs, Google Slides, and I think Google Sheets. So you can go ahead, if I were to add a comment anywhere. I'm so sorry that my computer's lagging. You see how the Mote icon is right here? You have 60 seconds max to record your comments. So I went ahead and clicked it, and again, there is the lag. But the cool thing about this one is that it will record your voice, and then when it's done recording, it will transcribe. So you see that it's starting to record. If I go ahead and click done, and it actually recognizes that I clicked done, it will transcribe the words that you recorded. So it will have a voice recording, and then it will also have words. And if any one of you guys have ever tried to voice text and it messes up, you know that you can always go back and change the transcription so that it's appropriate. Oh, I believe it just finished recording. Extensity, I think that Tiffany has one similar to this. It actually is a way to keep track of your extensions. As you can see that I have a lot of them. I have a lot more that I use. So you can see if I wanted to turn on my one-click timer that I have, I could go ahead and turn it on and then use it. Say I don't need it right now, I can go ahead and turn it back off. Just for things that you use only sometimes, it's good. I know that I had turned off my Screencastify for this. So I can go ahead, or read mode, I can go ahead and turn it on and use it. And then when I don't need it, I can go ahead and turn it off. Are there any questions? I think I saw a couple of chat pop-ups.
I'm not sure. It just says after you hit done, then what? And I think that's for your talk and or your Mote.
For the Mote, that's when I click done and it actually works. It will say processing or transcribing or something like that. And then it will have a little recording. Go back to here. I'm sorry. This is so frustrating. Okay. So say I were to go to the actual link here. Or at least you can pretend like I did. I know that I put, I can't remember which one that was. I put an example of both of them on one of my agendas. So you can see in their example, they're going to record. Once they record it, you can see that you could press to listen to the recording, but it also transcribes what it is that they said. And then they have other options there. But you can always fix the transcription if it's incorrect. So again, they can read what you said, they can listen to what you said, just to have that option. And I'll look up at, I know it was on one of the agendas we had talked about, I can't remember what it was, but I'll look up, and before the end of this is over, I'll show you the examples of what I've done. So custom cursor, this is just a fun thing. It looks like this. If you go like that, you can go into custom cursor and see all of the different, oh no, that's not what I wanted. You can, if you click right on it, this will be what's already preloaded. If you right click on it, I believe when it says options, you go to their website. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of different choices if it would load properly. And you can add whichever cursors you want. you can actually make your own. Like I made the one that was Snuffleupagus for the link, and then for the regular mouse is here. So I made this one. If I go ahead and click on it, you can see how it changes. So if I have something I can actually click on, it turns into Big Bird. Otherwise, it's Snuffleupagus. Just different little choices, a little dog. So you can go ahead. I know they have Disney stuff, cartoons, sports teams, whatever it is that you actually like. And sometimes it's fun because it makes kids pay attention to what you're actually doing. So next up is Andrea. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so she can go.
We still have a couple questions on that moat, and it says it's only for places you can make comments like docs and slides and things like that, correct? I said yes. I just wanted to make sure because that's yours.
Yes, that's true. Is there anything else?
Not that I can see.
Cool.
Okay, so my first one, my favorites, Grammarly. Grammarly is an app that you have to sign into, and Grammarly corrects your spelling as you're typing and gives you spelling suggestions. It doesn't work on every single application that you have pulled up. There are some applications like the IEP Anywhere that it no longer works. And I've been seeing lately that it's been going beta version. So I think they're trying to iron out some of the little quirks with that, but you do have to sign in, and it's part of when I start up my computer and all my extensions come in. If I don't sign in, it doesn't automatically start. So I have to make sure when that pops up, that extension pops up, I have to make sure I sign in right then, or else it's not working. It won't work for me. My next one is Share to Classroom. So this is just sharing it right into Google Classroom. Again, I have the app and it just says, if I want to share this to Classroom, I click on it and it tells me to pick a classroom. So if I pick my test class, I could push that out to students and they can just view it. I can decide that they can edit it, they can comment on it. If I hit push to students, it goes right out. And it says you haven't pushed anything recently, which that's not surprising. I'm gonna open my Google Classroom up and see. Oh, and it did not push, let me see, classwork. Okay, normally it pushes right out. It is not working today. Let me see if I can't try it one more time. So I want this to push out, there it goes. So I have to hit the push right here. And it should be in my Google Classroom. I mean, this isn't always the most ideal way, but it's you know, something if you want to just quickly push something out to them for a comment or whatever.
Do you want to share? Do you want to show them how to make an assignment in there? So if you click on the to Google Classroom again, instead of push to students, there's a drop down.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
And then
I was like, I knew I saw it. Yeah. Okay. I thought I was going crazy. So we can assign apps. You can give them additional instructions. Click to all students and assign. And then it'll let me view it. Under classwork, and it's down at the bottom. So mine are just posted according to date. So it's under apps. And there it is. Okay, thank you, Rachel. Okay, my next one, let me get out of all these. So my tab scissors. So this is similar to the one that Rachel had, that hers was tab resize and split layout. So on this one, I think this one came out right before the one Rachel had, where if I click on the scissors up here to split.
Wait, just a second. There's a question, and it says, in order to to share in Classroom, do documents have to be PDFs?
No, I just shared a slideshow, so no.
It's anything that has that you're on the internet, Cheryl. You could share a website. You could share the Google Doc that you have right in front of you, the Google slide. It's anything that you're on interactively, I guess, on the internet. Okay.
All right. So this tab scissors, if I click on it, what it does, it works in Chrome. And it works in Chrome only, so it'll split my two screens in half. So the first screen that I'm on is to my right. The second screen that was right underneath, that's to my left. I can change out screens, but you see that's not the one that's split. I can hit split again. I only use it for short, quick things. It's not one that I use like constantly. The one that Rachel has works better for working on projects. But it's a quick, fast resource if I just need something, like I said, real quick, that I need to compare two things fast. The one after that is the shortcut for Google. Rachel, you already did that one, correct?
No.
Okay. So the shortcut for Google, I gotta find, oh, here it is. It's just, you click on it and it'll bring all your Google products up, and it'll just take you straight to that. So if I just want to go right to my drive, it'll take me right to my drive. I don't have to go back to the little waffle and look for anything. You just have to know what symbols mean which item. So that's a quick, instead of going and hitting a new tab and opening things up, I just hit my shortcuts for Google's. But like I said, the thing is, you have to know what all these little tabs are. It will, on the bottom, like tell you there's Google Shopping, Google Plus, my calendar. But if I have a website up and someone calls and says, hey, put this on your calendar, then I can just quickly click my calendar. It'll bring my calendar right up and I can add something. So I don't have to keep going that main, opening up a whole brand new page. It'll just bring up whatever I need. Oops. Let me bring my pages back up. I have so many open. All right, my next one is YStamp. So this is, oops. So this is for my emails. It just makes it fancier. So if you could see on this picture, like they have her picture and her name and what her title is, and then it gives links to all these. So when I click mine open, Usually it goes right, I have mine, so it goes in my email. When it sends it out, it automatically sends it out. So when I click on it, and you have to set this up ahead of time. So when I click on it, this is what mine looks like, and it should be at the end of all my emails. So I have all my information already there. I don't have to worry about it. You know, it just looks more professional. That's all. There's different templates. This is totally free. I can change the templates. There's only 2 different ones that are free, but it was just something different. So I just threw it on there this way. You know, my cell phone's on there, my extension's on there, my email, whatever else I felt that people needed to get in touch with me, their Twitter, the Facebook, Google Plus is on there, although we really don't use that anymore. But it already has my title, and it just makes it look more professional is what it does. It was just something to add a little zip to our emails.
I use that.
Instead of the normal same old. I know LaPlante was shocked when we first did it. He was like, "What are you two doing?" Well, we were playing. Kami, Kami, I love this because it's PDF and document annotation and markup tool. So if I bring up, and I don't even know if I have a PDF file, but let me hit Kami.
I was like, you probably have one in Drive. Everybody sends PDFs.
Yeah, I probably do. This is great for when we have forms we have to fill out. We can bring in that PDF up into Kami and manipulate it. So I've opened this up and I hit annotate with Kami. I opened it up with Kami. And Kami is one of those that automatically just signs in with when you start up your email. So if this is a form, like if I wanted to fill out, I always use the text box, and you could pick what size font, whatever, or that gives you the text. Yeah. Oh, it makes me create a copy because someone else owns this. See how quick this does this. Okay, so if I hit text box, it'll put in a text box, and I can then, you know, it's fun when things don't always work the way you want them to. There it is. I could stretch out my text box. I could pick the size, the font, whatever. You can move it, you can manipulate it. It lets you draw all over it. So if you want to circle something, annotate it, I can erase it, I can add shapes. I don't know about the rest of the, I don't know about Tiffany and Rachel. I use it, like I said, mostly for PDFs that I have to, there's a highlight tool that I have to manipulate, but there's a form to fill out, and you know, it's just a PDF and they don't allow you to fill out. So I'll do the text boxes and I'll print it out and I'll just sign it myself or add my own signature that I have on file.
Can I interject?
Go.
I know a couple teachers who have used this in their classrooms. As long as the kids have the Kami extension installed, then they can assign it to the kids. They open it in Kami. They can fill out worksheets. They can highlight things. They can underline, do close reading, et cetera, et cetera. So I know several teachers that like to use it with their students.
And that's on the Chromebooks then, Rachel, for the Kami?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one they already have available to them. Okay. And our last one, just Clever. It's just a shortcut for Clever. I don't have to type in clever.com. It's just the shortcut that'll take me right to my Clever account. It's the normal Clever icon that we all have on our devices. It just, you know, you don't, it's just right there in your face. You don't have to worry about it. And since I don't have it set up, well, it wasn't set up yet for today. So I can just type in my school, log in with Google, and you'll see that it logs me right into my Clever, and you'll see that like Rachel, Tiffany, and I don't have access to a lot of the programs that all of you have, but this is right in, it just logs right into my Clever without me having to do anything. It's right there. I think that's it for mine. So Tiff, I think you're up next. Does anyone have any questions?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, Shannon just said this is going to save so much time checking iStation minutes.
Hey, whatever helps. All right, Tiff, I'm going to stop sharing. It's all yours.
Okie dokie. Okay. So the one thing that I have to say is you can see that my extensions across the top. I have my URL bars long, and you saw that Rachel and Andrea's is very small. I don't like that. So I know it's not the first thing that they have on here, but I have that, we were talking about a manager, and it's actually down here. And I'll go over it again, the extension manager, where I can actually turn these on and off at the top. So like if I don't want the bit.ly on here, I just uncheck it, and you can see that it removes it from the top, because I personally like to know what URL. If I'm typing something in or putting something in, I hate when I can't see the whole thing. So that's the reason for those extension managers, just as a thought. So I'm going to start with the ActiveCast sender. So anybody that has a panel in their room, you can actually mirror your laptop onto the panel without connecting it. So you can see I have the little extension right here. It's called ActiveCast Extender. When I click on it, I decide if I want my desktop or my current tab. Now, the only thing you can't see right now is the connection ID. I need to be on the same Wi-Fi as the panel. So I have to be in the same room on the same Wi-Fi. The board will actually give you a connection ID, and you can connect automatically to the panel that's in your room. So you can actually share your board wirelessly. This will not last for a long time. This is supposed to be temporary. It's a Wi-Fi connection, but it will do that automatically. Now, there are some people at McGuffey that have the newest version of the panels. You don't even have to do this. They actually have an app on their board that will open up wirelessly. You can choose other people's devices in your room. So if you can actually have your students, there's an app, you click on the student's name, and it will actually put their device on the board, and they could show from their seat what they're doing. And I see we have some questions.
Ashley says, when we upload assignments, a PDF worksheet to Progress Book, would the students need the Kami extension in order to be able to type the answers into it, or would we use the Kami extension before we upload it? Sorry, I am so new to this.
No, they would have to have it. You don't have it. They would have to have it on their end in order to work on your PDF worksheet. Correct, Rachel?
That is my understanding, yes.
That's my understanding too.
Mine as well.
I'm just going to share with you, there are some teachers in another school district that are struggling a little bit with Google Classroom, and they don't know how to share documents from Google Docs, so they're sharing PDFs with students. So that those teachers in that district are using Kami with their students to mark up PDFs, because they don't know how to actually kind of convert them or to give or to share a document to the students. So they need to have that extension. But ActiveCast is really cool. But if you have the newest version of the panel, and I think there's only 12 right now at McGuffey, you don't even want to use this, because it can actually, this is just going to mirror your content this active cast, that means when you're at your panel, you can't touch your panel. It won't do anything to the computer. It's just a mirror version. It's kind of like the iPad when you mirror it on Apple TV. But on the new devices, if you mirror your device, you can actually manage your device from standing at the panel wirelessly. So it's really, really cool. Okay, classroom split. This is something that they suggest that you students, you have on your device. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google Classroom. Sorry, I have something on my computer right now. I would want to open up a class right here. And at the top, you see I have this split classroom. When I click on that, it will actually open up the assignments. So you see the assignments and maybe my directions are over here. So the student will actually go in to their assignment, work on the assignment, but they could see the directions over here on this side for what you're asking, because sometimes you give the directions and when they go into, they open a blank document. When they open their document, there's no directions on here sometimes. So if there's no directions on here, they don't know what to do. But if they have the directions out here and they split the classroom, they could have two tabs side by side. One is what they're working on. The other side is the direction or a website maybe that you want them to use. So this would definitely be something that you would want your students to put on their devices, as well as you, if you wanted to model this for your classroom. So I really like the split classroom. And if you guys don't know who Alice Keeler is, she is amazing Google guru. She has tons of stuff out there and has made many, many things for Google Classroom and Google Docs. Wakelet. I don't know if you guys know what this is or not. I was introduced to it about a year ago at a conference I was at, and I love it. I just haven't figured out how we're going to introduce something else besides what we already have. So if you saw when I opened a new tab, it actually took me to my Wakelet. I actually have it set up right now for that, for this reason. So it actually takes me into my account. When I go into my account, these are resources that I've collected from websites, other places. All I have to do is click and it will put it in here, and it's actually a picture of what it is. And then I can put words at the top. Now you can see this is actually a tweet from Twitter. I can actually put tweets from Twitter in here. And then if there's a link in here that I want to use later, I can click on it and it will actually take me exactly where I want to go and see why I had this in here. If I wasn't sure, but I can share this with anybody I want to. So I can go up to the share button and I can get this link and I can send it out through Remind. I can send it out through Twitter. So if you have a bunch of sites that you want to share with your students in one place on a topic, you can just share them all at one time. I also have one for Spiro. So I took their information. You can see now this is just another format. I right now have it in list view. But what I like about it is that I can go to any place that I want. Now this is my Promethean Academy to get certified. And where's my icon? Come on. Did I shut it off? I was playing with things. No, it says it's there. I don't see my blue W.
If you have more than your space, yeah, you might have to click the three dots.
Yeah,
that's
but
where my overflow goes.
Maybe because I was turning a couple things on, but they should be there. It should be there. Because see, I don't have enough up there anyways, but it should have been there. I'm just looking for it because I had it there yesterday. I know it's going to be over here, but I'm mad that it's not where I want it to be. I don't know anybody else that's like that. So I would just click the W and it is going to ask me where I want to put this. You can see in my collection, and I can put a description in here. So if I wanted to take this one and just put it in my EdTech resources, I could actually save it right there, and it goes right into the resource in one click. I don't actually have to copy and paste and put it in there. So I'm mad when stuff doesn't stay like I wanted to. I don't know if anybody else is, but it just bugs me. So I have a few extensions in here.
Hang on, we actually have a question. Do we need to go in and play with all of these to understand them, or are they basic? Are these like apps that we add to our computer, or are they the one YCSD paid for? Sorry, I missed the first 5 minutes. I'm confused on where these are coming from. No. Are they extensions?
So these are all extensions, and extensions are things that extend supposedly the Chrome. So if you go to, I'm just going to open a new tab because I have mine opening in the same tab. If you go to your apps in your web store, all of these are found in here. Also, if you have the slide, each one of these is actually takes you right to that extension, and you can add it to your Chrome. I don't know any extensions that you pay for. Most of them are free, but then once you get into them, like Grammarly, there's a paid version of it. So if you wanted a paid version of Grammarly, because Grammarly will do your Google Docs, but if you wanted to work on like your Microsoft Word, it will even work offline, but I don't pay for that. So you can see mine's active, but see, it's telling me it's missing key features. So there's other things that you can do with it. So Zoom is amazing because right now we're at a unprecedented time, and they've given us the Zoom for free to all these districts right now, but I think eventually that's going to go away. They're going to want people to pay. Google Meet is what everybody was using before, but Google Meet has very limited ability. So to change some of their capabilities, they've now added where a teacher can mute and things like that. But one of the things you couldn't do is have a grid view. So you know that if you're in Zoom, you can have a grid and see everybody's picture. That wasn't a possibility in Google Meet. So this is one of the extensions that you can add on to your Google Meet, and you can see it actually puts everybody in a grid view so you can see everybody at the same time. So that's one of the ones that's really nice. The other one was, if you are doing this with your students, it will actually automatically take attendance for you as your students come in and out, which I thought was really cool. So if I would go into a Google Hangout, let's see if it'll let me. Andrea, if I click here, you can see I have a little video and it will open it up. So I don't know if Andrea, you wanna, let's see if it'll let me. But this is actually in a new window. I probably should have done it and not in a new window. I'm gonna change real quick. Hold on. And you should have a Hangout over here, right? And you can see that I'm going to video call, and I can pick who I want to video call. Let's start a meeting. You can tell me, it tells me my camera's on and my video's on, or I can present my computer right now. So right now it's just me. I can add people. I can send this information out. So I'm going to add Andrea, I'm hoping, come on. And it will actually start loading your contacts. So if you have your students in here, it will start to load your students one at a time. And it's taking a while because come on. Because it might be because I have a bunch of tabs open, but I really don't think that's the reason why it's taking a while. Let's see if it'll let me. So you can see that I have the attendance up here on the top. Okay, oops, I'm sorry, right here. And then you have some options that you have. You can go in and right click. You can add a new sheet. It'll create a spreadsheet. So I would just say create a new spreadsheet, and it will actually create a link for you when people start to come in. When you check that box, see how it creates my spreadsheet, and as they start to come in, it will start to give you the time that everybody starts to hop on. This is going to take forever. It's not that hard. But then you'll have this little spreadsheet and you'll have proof of who came into your meeting, and it will actually timestamp it and tell you when everybody came into your meeting. It's pretty cool. If you watch the video that's on there, it shows you exactly what he does. The other thing is in Google Meet, everybody talks at the same time. There was no like raise hand. There was no place for somebody to make a comment. So this gentleman created this reactions for Nod. So that way that when you're in there, you have everybody's picture up. And if they want to raise their hand, they choose the icon to raise their hand. Or if you say, does everybody understand? They can do the thumbs up icon. So that way, instead of having everybody talk at the same time, you now have just individual people putting up icons. So there's not a lot of that interaction while somebody's presenting. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things of all time. How many times have you gone to a website on whatever it is you want to go to? And I'm just going to pick technology. And I'm going to go down to a website. It's going to give me some definitions. And a lot of websites, if you want to print this, has a whole bunch of stuff on it. I have a little extension on here that is to print this without any ads. So if you have a page that you go to that there's a lot of ads on all the time, and this is still loading, you can click on this. It will give you a preview of printing it without the ads. It is fantastic. It's very clean and neat. It will just have the pictures and the information you want in the middle. So you see now, this is what I'm going to print. And it takes all of the ads out. It takes all of that sidebar stuff out and anything that you didn't want. And now you can just print the information without ads. This was my all-time favorite saver when I was in the classroom, because there was a lot of websites I would go to where I would want to say, give information. And that was my place to go to get rid of all those ads.
Tiffany, what was that app called?
It's called Printer Friendly and PDF.
Thanks.
Yep. That's the print friendly and PDF. I love it. Love it. It's fantastic. The other thing is sometimes you have students that come in and instead of opening a new page for Google Translate, so if I have this page up here, I actually have the extension for Google Translate. It's the little G right here. If I click on it, and I hit translate this page, I mean, you can do a word if you want, but I'm going to do the whole page. It opens up with a tab at the top for me, and then I can choose the language that I want to turn it into. So if I say Spanish, now I have a whole page that's in Spanish. So it's really nice. And then over here on the right side under my options, I can actually turn off the translations when I'm done. So if you want to post this somewhere, or you need a student that needs it on their computer, you just want them to hit, translate the page, and you're going to be able to choose from, I can't tell you how many different languages are on here, because I know there was a student at Cheney that was Polish. So you could change it right into Polish and it's done for you. Just make sure you turn it off.
I know that Ashley says, oh my goodness, this is so helpful. My students' parents couldn't find the progress book directions in Spanish last night. I know also in the video that's right there that it shows how to use it. You don't have to actually use the extension, but there's a part in Google Docs where it can translate also.
Yes, if you're in Google Docs, and I actually have it up here, I believe it's in Tools. Yep, and it says Translate Document right here. So right in your Google Docs, it will translate the document for you. You don't even need to use that extension. Okay, so I talked a little bit about the extension manager. Like I said, I love this. I have so many on here, and I just go back and forth between what I want at the top and what I don't want. It also tells you what I have enabled right now on there and what I have disabled. So these are the ones that I don't need to use, and then it shows me the ones that I do have enabled. So just be aware that that's an option on there too. And then if they all don't show up, like Rachel said, click my dots and they're over here. But I don't like that. I like to keep it cleaned up where I can see them all at the top, but I was adding some a little bit ago. Bitmoji. Love, love, love this. Okay. So Bitmoji is an app on your phone. So the first thing that I know is that you can't go to bitmoji.com and create an account. It doesn't work like that. It's going to tell you to download the app. It's not an option. So you need to make sure that you create this on your phone before you do anything else. Once you do that and you add this extension on up at the top, you'll have to log into the account. Now, anybody that knows me personally knows my Bitmoji that I have personally is different from my Bitmoji I have for school. I've separated because they're attached to 2 different email accounts. So whatever email account you sign up for is the Bitmoji that you're going to see. The one thing I do love about this that they added though is if you have a word that you want a Bitmoji before, it used to be it would only give you the icon. Now it starts to add the word that you want to any of all these images. So if I wanted to say remember me, now it says remember me. I can copy that, the one that I want, and I can go in and I can just paste it. And there it is. And it's the whatever words I want the students to have or to know or what I want to say. So that's an update they've done. And I love it. And students like to see you as a Bitmoji. I don't want to see my picture on there. So 99% of the time, I'm going to make a little cartoon image of me and put it on somewhere. So is there any questions about Bitmoji? But you do have to create your account on a phone or an Android or an iPad. It's an app. Is there any questions on that?
I don't see any.
So
well, there is one now. Do we have to create an account with YCSD email?
Yes, I did. So I logged out of my account on my phone, and then I logged back in on my phone with my school email, and I created one. But I eventually logged out of it on my phone, and now I'm only in my personal one on my phone, but that other account is still out there. But if I ever want to change her clothes or her hair or whatever it is, or eye color, I'd have to log back in with my school email account, Shaylin.
Or change her shoes, she says.
Yes, I know. She has heels on. I don't know if I have her legs in any, but she's wearing heels. So, Amanda, I'm going to unmute you real quick. There you are. So do you want to share your screen? She has an extension that she used and I wanted her to share it. Do you know how to share your screen? Wait, I'm going to stop.
Hold on. Let me get to the right thing.
Okay.
I'll call you back.
There you are. So she has an extension that she uses that
Right, can you see my screen now?
I cannot see it yet. Are you hitting the green share screen button?
Okay. I got you. Okay. Are you good? Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay. All right. So am I doing boomerang? Is that what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, like the only way I've really used it, but if you go to Gmail and so I'm one of the progress book people. So I, a lot of times forget what I need to send. If you go to Google, I added boomerang, and boomerang's right here. It's this little, boomerang. And when you go to send an email, it's loading. Apparently
I know it takes a minute. When you're presenting, it always takes longer than you think.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So what it adds is this part down here, and it says send later. So you can send it in days. You can put a date. So like what I do is I go in and set it up for as reminders for when grades are due, when they open, when they close, that kind of thing. And you can just hit send later, and then you can schedule any kind of a date for later on. You can choose what date you want. You can choose the time. You can do any of that, and then it just schedules it and sends it. So that's all I've done with it.
Is that all of the possibilities, or is there more with that one?
I'm guessing there's more, and I'm going to be honest with you, I really haven't played around with it too much. That's why I added it, was just so that I could send, schedule emails and do things like that. So I haven't messed around with it too much. I'm going to be honest with you.
But it works for what you wanted it to do.
Yes. So that's all I wanted it to do.
Does anybody else have any good extensions that we may want to hear about?
I just want to interject that I love Boomerang, and they actually have one for calendar as well if you schedule a lot of appointments.
So we'll be adding Boomerang on the bottom. Nobody has any extensions they use?
If you want, I can, I figured out it was on the Pear Deck agenda that I had added that, so I can show the audio notes.
Yes, absolutely.
If I can go, yes, all right. Okay, so I had added this, hang on, let me move the meeting. I had added this section down here on the Pear Deck agenda. So you can see that this is the voice notes anywhere. I had it, I click the voice note. You can see I actually just put the text there and then I linked it. And then hopefully.
This is what a voice note looks like in talk and comment.
And that sounds weird, but okay. And then Moat, you could see that I highlighted a part and I made a comment over here. This is what a voice note looks like in the Moat extension. And I was trying to
see your words, and I can see your.
Because it. Yeah, I was trying to talk really clearly because it transcribes. It's basically like if you're doing speech to text in a text or something like that. So again,
for your kids that don't read well.
Yes, and you can edit it right there. Like if it said something, I think at first when I said Moat here, it spelled it M-O-A-T. So I went ahead and I edited it so it looked appropriate. Are there any questions about that now?
It says both users need Moat to use it, correct? Do I need Moat to view that?
I don't know. Do you want to go ahead and open the Pear Deck
I am.
agenda?
I'm going to open it right now.
And see if you can comment with it. That would be cool.
I'm going to see if I can just listen to yours.
Okay. You should be able to listen to it regardless. I'm not sure if you can comment back with it, like record a comment back. While she's doing,
it's actually telling me if I want to hear your voice, I need to put it on my side. Oh, no. It opened it up. I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it. But it opened a whole new page. It doesn't stay in the page.
Okay.
But yes, I can.
Okay, good to know.
And then the other one does the same thing. It has opened up a new page for me to listen to it.
Okay.
So
good to know.
So if you have it, it will keep you on the page. But if you don't have it, it opens it up into a new page. I can show that if you want.
Yes.
Oops, I'm sorry. So I'll share my screen real quick. So you can see these are what she put in there. And over here is the Moat. Well, when I click on it, if I want to hear it, it opens to a new screen. And it's right here with the directions at the bottom. But I'm pretty sure
a voice note.
They want you to download it. That's why it's opening to a new page. And then the same thing for the voice note. It opens to a new page and I can hear it.
This is what a voice note.
That one's really weird. I think I like the Moat better just because of the sound. But that's what they look like. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't see it yet.
Just so you know, the survey's at the end, so please make sure that you click the link for the survey. And I have to do a big shout out to Rachel. She did this whole presentation. She made it so colorful and so amazing. Andrea and I were like, wow, you are the slides queen. The same thing for this. I should actually go back into the version history You guys will all laugh. This is what we were working on the other day. This is what it looked like. Rachel was like, no, we can't have that. So she really kicked it up a notch. So I just want to tell her how much I appreciate her. So
You're welcome. It's amazing what you can do when you're sitting at home.
I told her last night, I'm like, wait, are you tweaking this? Do I need to? She's like, no, leave it alone. I got this. I said, okay.
Can you share the survey link in there? It's the survey link is also on the first slide, and it's also on the agenda. I try to.
I will share it in there though, as soon as it starts to react for me. There we go.
And I was thinking about what Ashley had asked about Cami. I believe that if they have a tablet or a phone, they can take a picture of your assignment and then just use their camera tool to like annotate.
Yes, they can do the markup. It's called markup. If they have a cell phone, if they have an iPhone, it's called markup. But yeah, if they have an Android, it should just automatically allow them to do it. I believe.
Yes, I double checked.
Yeah. So if they have an iPhone, they have to use the markup tool. But if they have an Android, it should automatically allow them to write on it. Do we have any other questions?
Nope, but Ashley said thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed us. Tomorrow is the Google Sheets, and you are definitely going to learn a lot about knowing your data tomorrow. That's for sure.